Дай Боже, друзі.
Thank God, friends, we're in Bakhmut. Today is February 6.
The Ukrainian army continues to hold the defense of the fortress city. The Russian military has been trying unsuccessfully to capture Bakhmut since July 2022, sending more and more reserves into battle. And in the last week, the Russian army has thrown all possible forces to break through the Ukrainian defense, stated the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine.
This week, the Russian occupation forces threw all their efforts into breaking through our defense and encircling Bakhmut and launched a powerful offensive in the Liman direction. But thanks to the resilience of our soldiers, they did not succeed. Hanna Malar, Deputy Minister of Defense of Ukraine, on Telegram.
According to British intelligence, the Russian army complicated access for the defense forces to the city, but was unable to cut off supply routes.
Two main roads into the city for Ukrainian defenders are likely now both threatened by direct fire following the Russian advances. Earlier in this week, Wagner paramilitary forces highly likely seized a subordinate road which links Bakhmut to the town of Siversk. While multiple alternative cross-country supply routes remain available to Ukrainian forces, Bakhmut is increasingly isolated, from the report of the UK Ministry of Defense on Twitter.
However, it is not worth considering a minor advantage of the enemy as a success, the analysts noted. In fact, every meter of Ukrainian land costs the Russian armed forces and Wagner private military company huge losses. Since the summer, the occupation forces have lost 10 to 15,000 soldiers in the Bakhmut direction, the Office of the President of Ukraine reported in mid-January. For clarification, the same number of soldiers the Soviet Union lost during the 10-year war in Afghanistan and Russia lost during the two Russian-Chechen wars.
Well-thought-out system of technical barriers combined with a natural landscape turned this area into a real impregnable fortress, near the walls of which more than 1,000 enemies were killed. The Bakhmut district and the city itself were preparing for defense in advance. This area has certain relief features. The city is surrounded by towering heights and hills, which in themselves hinder the enemy. Alexander Syrskyi, commander of the ground forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, from the message of the press service of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine on Telegram.
Ukraine is not going to withdraw its troops from Bakhmut, Volodymyr Zelensky stated. Ukraine plans to liberate the territories of the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, which have been occupied by the Russians. For this purpose, the armed forces of Ukraine need to receive long-range weapons from Western partners.
We will fight as much as we can. We consider Bakhmut our fortress. We consider our heroes who unfortunately died there heroes. If the provision of weapons, namely long-range weapons, is expired, we will not only stay at Bakhmut, we will begin to deoccupy Donbass, which has been occupied since 2014.
About 6,000 residents of Bakhmut remain under constant Russian shelling. 200 of them are children. Reported by Roman Smoler, Valeria Nikipelova, UATV News.